All right, everybody, I'm Brian Rivera with the law offices of 𝗪𝗵𝘁 Robbeloth. We do trusts and estates. Next, please. So these are the practice areas that we cover, especially estate planning. So we do a will and a trust for our clients as well as the power of attorney documents. We can also help clients with special needs trust planning if they have children who receive government benefits or disability. Trust administrations, probate. So if someone passes away without a will or trust, we can help walk through the court process of distributing assets. And then conservatorships, if someone typically, if people have dementia or some sort of incapacity and they don't have estate planning documents, we can also help with the court process in getting someone in as a conservator to help manage their assets and care. And we're based in San Jose, but we also have an office in SoCal near Santa Cruz, and we have clients all over California. Next, please. So probate is a court supervised process involving the distribution of assets after someone's death. Even if you have a will without a trust, your assets are still subject to probate because we have to submit the will to the court and prove its authenticity and make sure the assets are being distributed appropriately. The only way to avoid probate, the main one is if you have a revocable living trust, which is something that we can help with. Or if you have a smaller estate that's under $208,850 or primary residence under $750,000. Those are ways that you can avoid probate without an estate plan. But typically, most people who need estate planning, their assets are above those thresholds. Next, please. These next couple slides are just like the detailing the steps of the probate. Next, please. I'm not going to go into too in depth, but the main thing is that it is really costly. It's a percentage of the estate, and it's very time consuming because we have to petition to the court and have a court hearing, and it could take up to a year or two for assets to eventually be distributed. Next slide, please. So when should you start thinking about estate planning? I know I said that if you have significant assets, that's when you need it, but really when you turn 18, most people should start thinking about their estate planning. And if you're not going to do a trust, you can at least do a durable power of attorney and healthcare directive. Other key signalings for people who should really start thinking about their estate planning is if you get married or divorced, if you just had kids, if you're buying or selling a house, or if you own a company. Next, please. So these are the key components of the estate plan. So if we get a client who wants to create an estate plan, this is the documents that we're going to be providing them. We do the trust and the pour over will, which is the key component of the estate plan. It's a document where you're going to designate a trustee to hold and manage your assets after you pass away. The other two documents are the durable power of attorney and healthcare directive. So these are the documents that are active during your lifetime. And this is the one that I mentioned earlier that even if you don't have significant assets, you can benefit from executing these documents because these are who you're going to put in charge of your finances and your healthcare decisions if you're ever unable to make those decisions. So usually if you're incapacitated or hospitalized, anything like that, those are the safeguards that you've put someone in place to help you in those situations. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so this is the estate planning process. If we receive a referral or a client from United, this is what we're going to be walking through with them for estate planning. We also do probates, conservatorships, we can help them with that. But for estate planning, the key thing I want to touch on here is that we do offer a free half-hour consultation. And so we can discuss the basics of estate planning if someone's shopping around the idea, or if someone is very proactive about it. I think the more efficient and cost-saving way is to really take that half-hour intro call and really get into the details and really start talking about who they want to put in on these as trustees, who they want their assets to go to, talk about their family dynamics, and really just get the groundwork going for their estate plan. Next, please. The other thing I want to touch on is that we do offer a complimentary yearly review for all of our clients. So we do recommend that all of these documents stay up to date in order for them to be really effective. And so this just allows us to keep an ongoing relationship with our clients to get an idea of how their life's going. So how their family dynamics are changing, how their assets are they growing, are they having new family members, having new kids or grandchildren, buying new properties, really just touching base on their lives and seeing if any updates to their estate planning need to be made. Next slide, please. Let's see, I wanted to give you an idea of how much legal services typically costs, but I also wanted to touch on this just to really key in on the idea of how valuable estate planning can be. So at the bottom, we have conservatorships and probates. So like I said, probates is a percentage of the estate. So I gave an example there. So we've had a estate that was about $3 million. And at the end of the day, after like a year or two of getting that through the court, they ended up paying $45,000 in legal fees and then $45,000 in administration fees, a little under $100,000 just to distribute their estate when they could have just completed an estate plan, which costs around $5,000 for a single person and 6 to 9 thousand for a married couple. Same with the durable power of attorney and healthcare directive. If you don't have those documents, you're keeping yourself open to the possibility of needing a conservatorship. And those documents cost around $600 to $1,000 to make. And then conservatorships are around 10 to 15,000 just to get into the door. And then if it's an ongoing conservatorship that needs these things need annual review from the court, so you're going to need ongoing legal services. And I've seen cases, long-term cases that have already hit upwards of $100,000 in legal fees to maintain them. And I have been talking a lot about avoiding these probates and conservatorships, but these are also practice areas that we specialize in. I have a lot of my experience in conservatorships and probates, so I know it kind of helps prepare me to give a good estate planning advice and know what makes a good estate plan. But these are also areas that I specialize in. If you guys have referrals in these areas, I'm always welcome to hear about them. Next slide, please. I think that might be it. So that's all my contact information, our website, and thank you. If yeah, thanks. Thanks everybody.